All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan. I don't want to sound like the prick who says that, hey, I told you so, but you didn't listen, now pay the price. But it's so frustrating to see how things are unfolding so quickly right before our eyes that it almost seems futile to do anything about it. I showed up a lot later on the scene, but there have been people way before me, people like Douglas Murray, David Wood, Tommy Robinson, many more, who've been warning the Western public about this incoming doom that is now becoming a lot clearer. There were always people who said, no, Islam is just another religion. You're Islamophobic. You're racist. Islam is a political ideology. And like many other systems like communism or fascism or democracy or secularism, Islam has its own system of governance. That system of governance, like communism and fascism, is in conflict with Western liberal democracies. So why would you give concessions to a system that is inherently hostile to you? Europe is doing so badly that in the early 2000s, the EU's economy was almost the same size as that of the US. But now it's 40% smaller than the US. But thanks to Trump, I think America will be okay. But it's Europe that is actually falling at a rate that's very scary, actually. So why am I talking about this? Remember this guy, Ahmed Yakoob? Remember him? This guy? He actually represented those two Manchester brothers who beat up police officers at the Manchester airport. Remember these two Manchester brothers? When the police came to arrest them, they fought back violently, and in the process, they broke the nose of a female officer. And by the way, nobody talks about it. One of the brothers was actually a police officer. He was off duty himself. And look at him. This is the other brother. These two brothers beat up police officers, including breaking the nose of a female officer. And the whole Muslim world erupted. And they said, oh, look at this police brutality against Muslims. Yeah, those guys. So he represented them initially. And then when it became clear that it was the two brothers who were at fault, he backed down. And he just threw them under the bus. He also contested the last general elections. I think he ran for mayor as well, but he didn't win. But now he has launched Britain's first Islamic political party. Have a look at this.
We are going to put up candidates in every ward in Birmingham. We have mentioned it before. Now is the time to take action. We are going to launch Independent Candidate Alliance, and all of the candidates will be under that umbrella.
For far too long, the Labour Party and its councillors and members of Parliament have reaped the rewards on the back of our communities, and rather than represent them, have misrepresented them. No more.
It's because the councillors and the members of Parliament are subservient to their leadership rather than the people who have put them in power. We are no longer going to tolerate this.
Remember that.
What a clown. We briefly spoke about this guy, but have a look at this guy. Do you know who this guy is? Let me show you who this guy is and what he stands for. These are the kind of people who would be making laws for you.
Of Birmingham will not tolerate the disrespect of our Prophet, peace be upon him, and there will be outcomes from your actions. You will have repercussions for your actions. We have been trained from birth that we must defend the honor of our Prophet, and we will lay our life on the line.
So not only the fact that he's threatened to kill blasphemers to protect the honor of his prophet, and because the coward British government didn't take any action against him, he's now contesting elections in Birmingham, where there's a significant Muslim population, and he could win a seat in the House of Commons. And what makes you think he wouldn't be pushing for blasphemy laws? What makes you think that he or his words would not be encouraging ordinary Muslims to take matters into their own hands and kill blasphemers, or enforce Sharia, or create more no-go zones? Who are these people? And they will be contesting elections along sectarian lines. When was the last time Britain contested elections on the premise of which sect you belong to? Are you a Protestant? Are you a Catholic? Are you a Jew? When was the last time it happened? But it's happening now in 2025. Why? Because we tried to warn you that these people follow a different system. They don't believe in liberal secular democracies. They believe in their own system, which is a totalitarian system, which believes in the supremacy of Allah's law, in Sharia. Britain's establishment is so pathetic that these people are going to be making your laws. They're not even trying to portray themselves as moderate Muslims. It's not even the case of that anymore. These are hardcore radical Islamists. This is what these people believe in.
Reason why you have to fight them is because they are Jews and Christians.
This is a part of our religion. There's a reason to it. Yeah? There's a reason why there's a capital punishment. Because people like you, little weaklings, who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt. And we're proud of that. Yeah? Capital punishment will be applied in an Islamic state.
In an Islamic state. And that's what they're trying to create, an Islamic state. So they want to kill blasphemers. They want to outlaw blasphemy. They want to kill apostates. They want to establish an Islamic state. And it's not only just about us, ex-Muslims, apostates, or blasphemers. It's about you too. They want to fight Jews and Christians too. That includes you and atheists too. Let me give you a little bit more of a snapshot of the shit that we're in.
Very simple. No integration, no multiculturalism, no diversity, no tolerance. I got my own deen, you got your own deen. You got your democracy, we got our own Sharia.
So you got your own democracy, we've got Sharia. As I said, they're not even bothering to hide their real face. They're not even trying to hide it. They're coming out as Islamists, and it's a unified movement. Remember the Muslim vote in Britain last year? It was this one. Look at this. Have a look at this. This is the muslimvote.co.uk. Make the Muslim vote count. Look at the font. Look at the style. And look at this. This is the muslimvote.com.au in Australia. This is what they're doing. They're spreading their tentacles everywhere. These guys have caused so much havoc and chaos in the streets of every major Western capital when they don't even have any real power. They've got a lot of street power, but they don't have real power. Imagine what they would do to the system, how they will overwhelm the system when they actually have 20, 25, 30 seats in the House of Commons. Imagine then. The Islamists and Muslim propagandists, they want you to totally bend over backwards and actually surrender to them. That's what they want. People are so stupid that they think that, oh, they met a nice Abdul, they spoke to a nice Nasreen Bibi or something, and they think that, oh, she was a nice woman, he was a nice guy. Well, all these people, Douglas Murray and Tommy Robinson, these guys are racist Islamophobes. I had a good experience with that Muslim guy, so everything's fine. That line of reasoning is so stupid and pathetic that imagine you were in the 30s and you met a nice German, and you'd think, oh, everything's fine in Germany. This is all propaganda, Nazism. All of this is BS. The world doesn't work that way. You don't judge an ideology or a doctrine by your anecdotal experiences with some of its subscribers. They could be apolitical, that's possible, but that doesn't absolve the actual doctrine. Or they could be hiding it, they could be lying. Some people say that they're doing taqiyya. I don't go that far, but I think this is the enigma of moderate Muslims. These moderate Muslims that we see who seem very reasonable, they're going to be the first ones to throw your liberal democracies under the bus when there is an Islamist takeover, or when it looks like that they're starting to take over, which it does now. They're trying that everywhere. Let me tell you a little story from Australia as well. And unfortunately, I just found out today that even Australia has 67,000 illegal migrants. I had no idea we had that many illegal migrants. It's happening everywhere. America is on the right track. They're deporting people. I don't know how successful they will be, but at least it sends a clear message to illegal migrants or to those who want to challenge American democracy that, hey, you're not going to have a free run. But I don't see that kind of pushback in Britain. And of course, here in Australia as well, things are getting really bad under our Labour government. But luckily for us, we have election in 3 or 4 months, and we're going to throw out the Labour Party. And I hope they never come back, or at least they don't come back for another 6 or 9 years. One good thing that we have in Australia is that we only have 3-year terms. But in Britain, you have 5-year terms, which means that you're not going to get another go until 2029, and the world would be a very, very different place. And these people would have organized themselves a lot better by the time we get to 2029 election. So this Muslim woman, Fatima Payman, as you can see, she's a Muslim. She moved to Australia as a refugee when she was young during the first Taliban rule in the 1990s. She came to Australia, and now look at this. She's got an Aboriginal flag who she absolutely does not care about. This is just a cover-up to win over the lefties of Australia. And she has a Palestinian flag, but no Australian flag. So she got unhappy with the Australian Labor Party over their stance on the Israel-Palestinian conflict. So she resigned and she created a political party called Australia's Voice. Yeah? she, she was clever. She didn't call it the Muslim Voice. She didn't call it that. She didn't call it the Islamic Party. She didn't call it that. She called it Australia's Voice. And have a look at all the Australians that joined the party. These are all the Australians that joined the party. Look at all these Australians. Now, again, people think that, oh, it's about race. It's absolutely not about race. The reason why I'm mocking these people is because these people are not loyal to Australian democracy. These people are loyal to their religion, which is totally opposite to what Australian system stands for. It's the clash of systems. You can be any color and be loyal to Australian democracy. Or you could be any color and be loyal to the Islamic system of governance. That's how simple it is. But people don't get it. It's so disheartening to see that these are the people who are actually gaining more voice in countries like Britain, France, Germany. I always used to say that the greatest civilization humanity has ever come up with, the modern West, could not just be overthrown so easily by these people who don't look very organized. And they don't have a very strong modern doctrine. They belong to a doctrine that was very successful in the 8th and 9th and the 10th centuries, but it has no place in the 21st century. If these people were competing against the West from the outside, then I don't think they would have had any luck. However, they have infiltrated and entrenched themselves so deeply within the Western system that, like termite, you can actually make it hollow from the inside. It can work. These people do pose a real threat. So it's disheartening. I think America is doing well. Australia is showing some early signs of trouble. But Britain, I don't know where it's going to go. You guys have to wake up. You guys have to protest. I'm not saying riot or cause chaos, but you guys have to mobilize yourself, galvanize people under one banner of British values, of British civilization. Be proud of your culture. Whatever your culture has done in the past, it doesn't mean anything. Every culture has done something in the past, but the people of today don't have to be ashamed of that. We are all products of genocide, war crime, invasions, takeover, etc. All of us. No culture is immune from atrocities committed in the past, but that doesn't mean that you have to be ashamed of yourself today. You have to fight for the preservation of your culture. Otherwise, these people, they will devour you.